All this while he's in the known.
I should think so.
Okay. No, by the statement.
Yeah, by the statement. That is on him all this while.
All this while.
In the afternoon, and I think the job of the president is really cut out. The campaign promise was specific. Say, and Kolana ya ne wo pit ni mo nenye omo e na aban ni ba bedi wo nachi. Aban ni pe campaigns no because campaigns na what see omo a what to ade na say from the root. Enti if campaigns nso e wo ho a na onim say bi mu ye the party for a then the president should help the whole country.
Okay.
Na party for no yensan ka won na illegality no to anything.
I think that we have been unfair to Nana Danko Akufo-Addo in his fight against Galamsey. You know, we really have been unfair because it was also clear that MPP4 mapa no mutu for magudia omuntu no ne kwanso.
Yes.
You see, intina na me say onyame bekoso ehira oni team no for monokredi any more principal stance on some of these matters.
Yes.
Because you called out and we as far as a year Wase Kropon. When we even told the then Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Yenia Bre Eka illegal miners on out moving pick, a workshop, any seminar. And no, Nakoma sorry, Kosra may be mad. Because it was clear, it was of no relevance because that kind of stakeholder engagement. My daddy, in fact, Obi Traka say, and Commander, Bowo, a year, Wase Kropon. And the Mokika Wahano, when the NDC came to power, we passed through various mining sites. Dominance, I remember, and other mining sites, illegal, where they told us that Mukra de Mono, Yaspre Munankemunian illegal miners, NDC people. The NDC came here, some of them, to come and entirely say, this is coming from the number one gentleman of the land. Mem Chedam M1 yet is the Ecosono, maintain the Ecosubia. And you're clear in Ashanti region, and you're clear in Zimaland.
No man say President Mahama has admitted that illegal mining, widely known as Galamsey, involves actors across political, traditional, and even his own network, warning that the fight against the practice will be challenging, but must continue.
I tell you, he had known this. It is a hard journey. Some more my Nyaisa, and I said that Bakacha will say, even in Bali, he had to form a good year to run the class. Even in the history of when another Danko Akufo-Addo came from and is coming from. And now I can say, it goes to so why are we trying to? Because
but this quote here, Mr. or say, and so I don't kid myself that we don't have our own people involved. Even when one party changes, those who were running some operation will go to the next party and say, now that you have come and take over this operation and let's share. We too will be getting small. This is what we are doing. He added. The president
national security party and I party chairman and so what has been the bane? The bane has been the principle that we lack. The bane has been the propaganda that we propagate. The bane has been that a bunch of vulnerable Ghanaians who are not ready to change the status quo by pretending that they are working towards changing the status quo. All of us.
All of us. The fight against Galamsey can be won in 1 week and 2 weeks.
I know they say when you say Obi. I know the baby Abedi would have come. Baby Abedi pristine condition because he trouble. Baby Abedi. You trouble. Even in pristine condition, trouble. We should forgive ourselves and look at the better Ghana we are looking for. We don't look at those things again. Because we didn't know baby. The forward march of the country, bitterness, any hurt, any pain, any disappointment, any pulling back, any I'll show you where power lies in quite a big because some NDC members, they're also bitter, they are pained. Some MPP people, they're also so disappointed, they are pained. But these are not the only people in this country.
Sure.
So if we say we are going to hold each other by the neck no dra ebe boa ma koko komo na wie peyoda ye nya no dra ebe boa ma health sector to imagine brand da ye nya no dra the challenges that we have in our free SHS any schools ebe wie da
yes
because you know your school fee bam women's organization bam women's organization bam women's organization sa na project na sa we know the problems. We know the people involved in the problems, media, J4, everybody is cutting corner to make sure, say, obedidi, obe survival. Everybody. Say, not so security recruitment, not say excess of 500,000. Anna abeguho, epe juma, aya 5,000. If you tell you that, asudida yenso.
We have a major problem.
I'm telling you.
We're at fourth announcement.
Four more bella. The member Quabra Nura. Alas, so you know, you're not a fatabai.
Alas,
Shambala. Four more.
It's where Alas and Suyini. The constituency. You see, Ibrahim Mama Koto private jet, a Yakatechia. Name of the constituency, Alas and Suyini constituency, and the Nippon and Chain and Numushu. Alas and Suhini, the constituency, a Nippon and Enchian Ernum ensue, a Nippa and an Enchian Ernum ensue. As you see, I am Yasa Ibrahim, I'm a quarter private jet, name on private jets and Yanadia. Private jets, no, your mamma and Anadia. It's Alas and Suhini, when you ya, woman for an Enchian Ernum ensue, Fatame. No disrespect to anyone, but then this is the realities of life. In the constituency, Tamale North, Alas and Suyini constituency, a Nippon and Nenchie Nanu Munsio, Wamaya team 21st century. 21st century, look kind the kind of water that Kwame Nkrumah and Nananum air no more. Look at the kind of water. Mensa sa banana no more animal. Look at the kind of water. Castle Hereford nana no more. Look at the kind of water. Domu and nana no more. In 21st century. 21st century. Fire mamua ye buya. Yenuanom northness abba deep positions of power. More. Ironically, when you give them power, instead of them to use it to help their people, someone cry. Wa befu ma bunfu. Menuanom notness. Enya to me, see a more to me, say what the Speaker of Parliament you, so what the President you, uchemu ye panwa, wa munya positions of power. Ya mwamwa kwenya so munko mukrom no mukoko developer. No mu di sida kase remark kase nkran. Enso meni wo mienu kase ensuo amanfo no nomo, ensuo amanfo no enum no. Ensure amanfo ne nom ne omene na ntwe na enom.
The ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy. Specifically designed for low and medium income earners, our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery,
Hey.
which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana colorectal center, aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
Changing, so should you. If you're dreaming, don't be afraid. And in the valleys, keep your head up high. Dare to dream with Puma drinks. Puma, Puma. Yeah, believe it, you can achieve. Puma, Puma. Oh yeah, clap your hands for the whole new vibe. Make we set the Puma. Oh yeah, come alive. Puma, Puma. Let me hear you. Puma. Puma drinks, a whole new vibe. Another quality product from Casa Precon.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Hey, Unia, new release in Yana. Kaya gum.
A bitino was me new release. Me can no access fitemu hono. And na Turbotech Garages Limited. Akwafa besiesi amana aye nitia. Obiase ye car mu no.
Accident car no na. Turbotech Garages Limited. Amana se gina ne naso sa no.
Me se wo. Wo mu akwafa broni fita engineer efra brochiraba. And wo check cars no. Na wo hunu ba bia fault kro wo. And ne ho spare parts so wo de hye. Afenesi road. And so a whole charges kakra bi o.
Turbotech Garages Limited.
Wo ye general servicing. Ebili engine overhauling, engine tuning, oven spraying, general electrical works, air condition installation work, BMU, upholstery, gearbox, make a day.
Turbotech Garages Limited.
Apart from sir, car that wotimi ato, and now our Toma wono, was higher importation of cars, and it was spare parts, if Rabutreba, Wokoto car mawa, a free.
Ace, also what you call
Turbotech Garages Limited, our La Paz Malam Road, after Bayard traffic light, wah. Bibiania for 0206 48 17 and 3 and 0542 96 11 11. Website turbotechghana.com.
Turbotech Garages Limited.
Hey, Kaya will be a benyan.
Turbotech Garages Limited.
Your car beauty and the power boosters.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to a mammy manful. Kale Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so buying, and manis ring, Nesansu Mama Hoto so a will beg you.
Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kale Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kale, happy smile, This advert is FDA approved.
Me chechi woni nara me din e de baby da pa me di ade sonko kra na ebremo nya ode to aduane mu ama waduane e de pa na me de bremo eno any some spices e emu wa wo bebre o various flavors ubenya e yakoko ubenya nyantwie ye de ku jollof mu ma emu ye de ubenya ye de ku nkwan ye de ku froye mu ho na ko pebito na ema waduane enye de unyimi nia ye nkon ye konko tie nyankofo eka
autant de communication ni o enjoy oduba that Samu spices one in the essence don't fight I'm going to get that yaga Samu spices in a BTA daddy so say Samu spices mun Samu spices nyama chicken
Samu spices Nsaka in Kitwa, measure 10 grams. Your chicken, spaghetti, garlic and ginger, stew, can jollof, and the flavors of Bebre.
Samu spices, yes, Saka.
FDIJ Jadien Kratuatum.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event ground and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
Hey buddy, it's me Azar.
Hey, me now they see. Hey, you don't look fresh. Oh.
Hey.
We your label today. Me.
Wait till you see what's inside me.
Azar, freshly made inside and out for greater coverage and colors that last longer and beautify your walls, spaces and places. Azar, no size. Go ahead. Buy now. Azar, #1 from Azar Group since 1921.
Can he tee up someone in red? And it goes to
Do not say! That's who goal is for.
I got 5 Champions League. You want to know?
I be the real goal. Chairman. I be the real goal.
Who is the GOAT? Ghana Jollof or Nigerian Jollof?
Ghana Jollof has no co-equal. The smell alone. Oh my God.
No, that shift. You two they lie. Eh? Now the same stew when they use cook the rice and then they go put them for top.
Hey! You are lying. Ghana Jollof.
Are you here? Forget everybody. Yeah.
My guy.
Put some respect on the GOAT.
On the goat. The only goat I know lives in Tama.
Every year we dey give to you back.
We are talking about BET. I want some Yadiaji face.
Except be the GOAT, huh?
My guy, him be the goat.
Though our choice of goats may differ in football, music, and jollof, Alomo Bitters always brings us together. Alomo, experience greatness in every moment.
Drink responsibly. Not for sale to persons under 18, nor recommended to pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Hive Management Systems, in partnership with the Solid Waste Association of Ghana, invites you to the Green Go Hub official launch and fundraising event. Theme: Powering the Circular Economy with Smart Technology, with a focus on incentivizing segregation at source. Join us at the Mamphy Hall, Gimba Green Hill campus on Thursday, 7 May 2026 at 10 a.m. Our special guest of honor is Niayi Bonte II, Bese Manche Adonte of the Ghana State, Chairperson, Nanama Entry, Executive Secretary of the Environmental Service Providers Association. Keynote addresses will be delivered by Honorable Samuel Nate George, Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, and Professor Nanama Brown Kluche, Chief Executive of the Environmental Protection Authority. This event is proudly endorsed and supported by the Ghana National Plastic Action Partnership, the Environmental Protection Authority, the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology, the Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, the Environmental Service Providers Association, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, and Indigo Foundation, with media support from Media General, UTV, Metro TV, MX24, and 1957 News. To register as a sponsor or donor, visit www.gringo-hub.com or call 054-342-7085. Your fundraising host and MC will be Mr. Alfredo Kanse. With strategic partnership from Globalware, the East Legon Executive Fitness Club, Blue Skies, and Margins Group, this event is powered by MTN as the official title sponsor. Be part of the movement towards a cleaner, smarter, and more sustainable future.
To come in entirely says this is coming from the number one gentleman of the land.
So we believe that we have found a solution. Directing Fatih on a few things. Good evening. Welcome to the show. It's always a pleasure to have you here on the show. Tonight we have so much. Ibrahim Mahama at the weekend launched the Daman project, which we'll be talking about tonight. And we'll use that occasion to talk about other Ghanaian businesses that should do well and are doing well, and some should be doing better, and some should be helped to do very well. And that's a big conversation coming. Zoom Lion is going to be on that agenda because I spoke to him yesterday after a very long time. When I say very long time, I've not spoken to Zoom Lion. That means about 2 months. I've not spoken to him in a very long time, and I called him up yesterday, and he said, I'll tell you what he said. I'll tell you what he said when we get there. We would like to begin, though, with the ongoing heat between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Learned Attorney General. As you would have seen, Justice Stremsai has done a few media engagements to sort of explain the point he's making about that's Stremsai, the Deputy Attorney General. He's made a few points about what he's saying about the reason why they have a point. He says that they believe that the special prosecutor should take authorization from them. That's the only way that the special prosecutor can work. Many people have a different view. Many lawyers have a different view. Some lawyers also agree with Stremsai's view. This evening, just before press time, we've seen on social media that 12 NGOs, civil society organizations, CSOs, they call themselves, not NGOs, CSOs, have asked Oliver Vomaho to apply to the court as amicus curiae to participate in the matter. Also tonight, we are celebrating 70 years of PMC. We'll be talking about that also in a bit. Okay. Which one should we start with? So we also have in the studio Mr. Asifua, who is the Member of Parliament for Tafo, and he is here to blow a whistle on a huge corruption matter. If the things that Mr. Asifua is saying is true, if there's anything to go by, we have a big, big matter on our hands. Also, APC have conducted a survey on the NDC's upcoming elections. The NDC have not even announced a date for it. They have not said there's a presidential election coming up, but we know, you and I know, that Johnson Asedu Nketia has been campaigning massively for it. In the last few weeks, Julius Deborah has also stepped up the campaign. And APC, the Lens, have a survey where Julius Deborah is neck to neck with Johnson Asedu Nketia. I have to check the NDC constitution to see whether these things go into a second round, like the MPP constitution following the national constitution. If a candidate does not win by 50% plus one, he's usually out. He usually has to go to a second round. It's not all constitutions that are like that. I suspect the NDC constitution is not like that. Do you know why we don't know? We don't know because the NDC has never been in this situation before. If I ask you, viewer, you're a journalist, you're a lawyer, do you know the NDC constitution, whether they do 50% plus one? You don't know. It's not your fault. It's not my fault because they've never done that before. This is the first time the NDC is going into a contest to elect a presidential candidate after 35 years of constitutional governance. This is the first time the NDC is going into a contest. You doubt? Let's talk about the history. Rawlings was their first presidential candidate. The nomination was done in Cape Coast. He didn't go for any contest. There was nobody competing with him. He became the candidate for the 1992 election. If you look at the MPP side, Professor Dubois went through a contest in 1992. He had to beat Janice Selby, he had to beat J.A. Kufuor, he had to beat Dr. Kwame Safwedu. He had to go through this contest, and Dubois won about 52% of the votes at Legon. That was the first time we saw that kind of contest. And then you fast forward to 1996. Again, the NDC didn't go through any contest. That's understandable because their candidate, Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, was the president of Ghana, and he was running for a second term. So there was no need to do that. So that's understandable. The MPP side, in 1998, there was a contest. John Ajekum Kufuor, who became the eventual winner, had to beat Nana Akufo-Addo, he had to beat Hakaman Owusu Agyemang, he had to beat Kofi Konadu Apreku. He had to defeat all these people in Sunyani in October 1998. I'm proud to say that I was very there. I covered. That was one of my first news reports that I covered, the Sunyani contest. I covered this incidentally for Radio Gold. Hallelujah. Okay, so that was how Kufuor got nominated, and there was a contest. Fast forward, NDC lost elections in 2000. Then in 2004, there was a contest. There was a contest in 2004. Professor Mills had to defeat, I believe, Spio Gabra, or was it Edianan? I think it was Edward Annan, one of them. One contest was Spio Gabra, the other one was Edward Annan. I think both Spio and Eddie were in both contests, but one of them came second in one, the other one came second in the other. Anyway, 2004, they went for a contest. At the end of the contest, Professor Mills won 90%. So that's the reason why we say there was no real contest. As the contest was building up, everybody knew that Professor Mills was going to win because the NDC backbone, which was then held by Ato Ahoy, had decided that Professor Mills should be the winner. So Professor Mills was going to win. Rawlings didn't like it, but it was in that period, in 2003, 2004, that Flight Lieutenant Rawlings and Nana Akufo-Addo Agyemang Rawlings noticed that, in fact, whilst they were at the helm of the party, they didn't have the party structure with them. Ato Ahoy controlled the party structure, and he delivered it to Professor Mills, and Professor Mills won a landslide victory. Okay. Then came 2008 elections. In 2004, the MPP didn't go through a contest. John Ajekum Kufuor was the president of Ghana, and so he went in as sitting president. There was no contest, understandable. So they went. It was the first time the MPP didn't have a contest. It was the first time the MPP didn't have any contest at all to determine who is their leader. So MPP have also gone through that, haven't they? Then came 2008. NPP went through a brutal contest. And this contest, for the first time, rolled into a second round. And the second round was overcome because John Ajekum Kufuor advised Alan Martin that there was no need to go for the second round because Akufo-Addo was going to whip you dry. So you don't need to. Just keep it, let him go, and let it be over. So the contest of the second round was kind of a voice vote. They didn't really table the papers because Akufo-Addo had won a victory of 49-point-something%, something like that. Okay, so the MPP contest. Then you come to 2012. Unfortunately, on 24th July, Professor Mills passed. There was going to be no contest. Professor Mills was going to be the candidate of the NDC. In fact, he had already been named the candidate of the NDC. 6 months to the election, the unfortunate and the unthinkable happened. He passed. John Mahama became. There were those who were, because he was vice president, by the constitutional arrangement, John Mahama became president on the 9th of 24th July, 2012. Again, I was in the parliament that night when John Mahama was sworn in. We all remember that, don't we? We had just done our Good Evening Ghana show, and straight from the show, we all went to parliament, and it was a very solemn occasion. President Rawlings was there. I saw him. I spoke with him on that night. It was very complicated. Ghana had never seen that before. Nobody knew what was going to happen. We're only grateful that we had only 6 months to an election and we'll have a fully constituted new government, because John Mahama's government was just the Mills government that he changed the leadership. He didn't change chief of staff. He didn't change anybody. He didn't change any minister. He just became president and ran the campaign, isn't it? After the campaign, he put up his own government. So at that time, the NDC did not go through a contest. And then MPP went through another non-contest in 2014. Akufo-Addo won 90-something% of the vote. Everyone knew that coming from the election petition and the clear indication to many Ghanaians that the revelations from the election petition indicated to all of us that something may have gone wrong with that election. We don't know what something, but something may have gone wrong with that election. As a result of that, Akufo-Addo's mandate was in the people's mind. They believed that Akufo-Addo had won the mandate in 2012, but it was not given to him. And so 2016, they will give it to him en bloc. And so Akufo-Addo came with the first big victory of the Fourth Republic in 2016. So MPP didn't have a contest then. Then comes Akufo-Addo is president, so MPP don't have a contest in 2020. They just unanimously elect him. John Mahama, on the other side, is now opposition leader. So there's opportunity for contest. What happened? Again, NDC, no contest. John Mahama went to the polls. He was former president. He had full control of the party. No other person had been developed to become anything. Joshua Alabi tried to compete. He seemed like a very clever man. Sylvester Mensah competed against John Mahama, also another clever man. But it didn't happen. John Mahama came up and hit it. And that's when they started playing the song, Ada JM Beba Ubeti Bobo Lee Bobo. Is that how they sing it? Yes, that one. My voice, I don't want to frighten you viewers to tune off. So if I sing, I'm sure you tune off, so I won't sing. It's Ada JM Beba no Ubeti Bobo Lee Bobo. Apparently it's a gospel song that they put it in, you know. So JM won easily. Then Akufo-Addo won the election. Of course, JM had reduced the deficit of the NDC. It was very difficult for anybody to overcome that challenge. And so in 2022, he was elected again by a landslide to be the NDC leader. Now, John Mahama is leaving power. This is the only time that the NDC are going through a real contest. And from what we are hearing, there's a major contest on their hand. John Mahama is president. He's not running. He doesn't want Asidu Nketia to come after him. He's thinking about Ato Forsen. People say Haruna Idrisu is better to lead because he has the numbers. People think Ato Forsen cannot beat Asidu Nketia because Asidu Nketia has been there for a long time. The only person who can beat Asidu Nketia is Haruna Idrisu, or perhaps Haruna Idrisu and Jenana Opokwa Jeman. All kinds of things are going on. So this is the first time you're going to have a real contest with NDC having to choose a presidential candidate out of a real contest. And tonight, the APC team are here. They've conducted a survey. They'll tell us the details of what is happening. So that stands to reason. Do I have a break? If I have a break, let me take it and then let me plan the stream side thing properly. We have a 25-minute video. I'm thinking it's a bit too long because of the kinds of things we have to do. Ibrahim Mahama, Daman, Zoom Lion, Magdan, Kevin Ochiri, all of that. We have to do that as one video. Then Asifwa is in the studio. Charlie has a lot to say. If you see the documents that Asifwa is holding, my goodness, you cringe. Is this Ghana? Is that John Mahama's Ghana? We'll look at it. And then also the survey people are here to pull up the survey. We'll take them before we take Asifwa. But I guess we have a commercial break. Can I take a break, Fatih? Yes, I can take a break. Viewers, permit me to take a short break, and then we can deal with it. Thank you very much. I'll be right back after the break. This is Good Evening. A lot more coming. Tell your friends who haven't gotten home and who are now getting over the Chelsea defeat that they should just take some cocoa, and Ghana cocoa, and Ghana chocolate. They should take Ghana cocoa and relax. After the break, we are going to delve into the political matters in a very brutal manner. As for Seremsa, he's on our front burner tonight. We'll tell him what he said at Bernard Avle's interview that was blatantly and manifestly wrong. We'll tell him that. We'll be right back. So we believe that we have found a solution for the Attorney General problem. It's a very difficult problem, isn't it? It's unwarranted, it's unnecessary, it's political, but we have found a solution for it. The solution we're going to share with you in the stuff of the law. But, you know, when you look at the story, you begin to wonder. Here is an office of special prosecutor set up by a government, the government of Nana Akufo-Addo. What was the office set up to do? The office was set up to work on public sector corruption, corruption in high places. Because over the years, since the Fourth Republic, in fact, even before then, it has been said that one of Ghana's problem and problem of African countries is really corruption of people, grafts, stealing of public money, misapplication of public money, money laundering by public officials. So all of these things were a big conversation during the campaigns of 1996, 2004, 2010, 2017. So by the time Akufo-Addo became president in 2016, this issue of corruption was a big deal. And during the campaign, he was asked many times what's going to happen. Almost every election has been fought on perceptions of corruption. Yes, Nana Akufo-Addo and Dr. Oh, yes. Sorry, we won't take the break anymore. We'll come straight to the story. But Dodu from Esiakwa has sent me a very important text message. He says, boss, you were looking for 2002 Kwesi Botwe. That's 28th December 2002 at Legon. That's where you were stuck. This is Dodu. Dodu, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Dodu, my friend from Esiakwa. Dodu, it's been a while. How are you doing? We have to connect, isn't it? Dodu has corrected me, and he's right. So the name I was looking for was, Mills's first contest was Kwesi Botwe. It was in 2002, clearly, I remember that. So then the next one was in 2006. It was both Ediana and Spiogabra were on the ballot against Mills. Then the first one was Kwesi Botwe. I remember that's when E.T. Mensah organized for them to beat me up at Central Cafeteria at Legon. Later on, E.T. and I became great friends before he died. May he rest in eternal peace. But he organized them to, they say I'm an MPP journalist, so if I come to the they should beat me up. So I was doing my reporting when some boys came and said, we'll beat you, you see. I said, okay, you beat me, it's fine. All right, let me go to text messages. When I come back, I'll be ready with the Attorney General story, and then we can do all the rest. Let me start with Ikea. What are people saying in our early exchanges?
Thank you so much, Paul. And this is coming from George Amanfo Ofori, and he says, good evening, Paul. I'm not surprised at what is going on in the country. This is what the NDC did in 2008. They lied to take power and messed up. This is not news at all. Eric Boedi says that JDM and his NDC members are saying dollar is down and single-digit inflation, but still, JDM has failed to pay cocoa farmers and clear over 12 months of debts owned by teachers. During COVID-19, teachers didn't teach for 1 year, but still, Nana Addo, Dr. Baomia's government, paid them. God have mercy on us. My regards to Dr. Baomia, Ajay Kesia John Buedu, Honorable Al Kumsin, Honorable Dr. Fred Che Asamoah, and Nana K, organizer hopeful. Lastly, from Yao Febri, he says that the Constitution says the Attorney General is the one to give authorization to the Office of the Special Prosecutor to prosecute independently. Also, the people representatives or Parliament made the OSP Act for the OSP to prosecute independently. Therefore, the Attorney General is the one Ghanaians or Parliament are expecting to authorize the OSP to prosecute independently, but not the OSP to apply for authorization, as the Deputy Attorney General is saying. It is the NDC which promised their commitment to fight corruption, so the Attorney General is the one to take the step for their authorization. Answer, what are the people saying?
Thank you very much, Ikea. Coming from God's Will Adai, he says, I am home today, so I am going to enjoy this program to my bones. God's Will from Portsmouth, Virginia. Coming from NK, he says, the God of Nanado will vindicate him very soon because he has done his best. And as for JM, God should help him. Coming from Kelvin, he says, give them some time. Those who were crying to come in power are now in power. Let's see what they can do. Let's see what they can offer the good people of Ghana. Simon Ampasa says, Mills contested Spio and JM contested Against Spio, Alabi, and then Bagbin. Edward says, if JM can't implement oral, Ghanaians will prefer Esiedu Nketia to come and implement it himself. Augustine Asari Donko says, Ato Forcing will not contest Esiedu Nketia. February then goes on to say the Constitution says the Attorney General is the one to give authorization to the Office of the Special Prosecutor to prosecute independently. Also, the people representatives or Parliament made the OSP Act for the OSP to prosecute independently. Therefore, the Attorney General is the one that Ghanaians or Parliament are expecting to authorize the OSP to prosecute independently, but not the OSP to apply for authorization, as the deputy attorney is saying. Junior Akbar says there is no way that the NDC can win the 2028 elections because they have failed us. Raymond is saying that I'm struggling to understand and appreciate this so-called fiat or directive that the current AG is contesting with the OSP. To an ordinary person, it seems clear that the AG is uncomfortable with the OSP's power to prosecute and is hiding behind a so-called fiat to justify what appears to be a coup d'etat. How can an authorization granted by the previous Attorney General through legal channels suddenly become problematic for the current Attorney General? Imagine if the OSP were to apply for a similar order of fiat to investigate Dr. Dominic Aini. Ikia, do you have any more messages for us?
Coming from Junior Akbar too, he says, I'm telling you for a fact that our current president finishes Monday. It is going to be fire because the rank of foul is going to fight each other. I'm talking from the vice president's office to down to the chief of staff and general secretary, national chairman, and some of the ministers are not going to fight seriously amount themselves. Let's give time to NPP. NPP will surely take to 2028 elections. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will surely be the next president of Ghana. And Junior Akbar says there's no way NDC can win the 2028 elections because they have failed us.
One from Emmanuel Lansdott, he says, the government just wants to paralyze the OSP to the bone. They want to cover the corruption that is yet to be unraveled, but let's give them some time. Samuel says, NPP did a good job, but there's too much jealousy for Bawumia. And lastly, coming from Sugar Free, he says, the government just wants to bring the OSP under his control so that they can manipulate him. Okay. That's it. Do you have any more messages for us?
That'll be all. Over to you, Paul.
Welcome back to the show, and thank you very much. Let me just mount the touchscreen and do our quick stories. So you hold on for Sremsai. We'll get to him. We're just putting the video together. We'll get to Sremsai in a minute. Good evening again, viewers, and welcome to the show. Thank you very much for your time. What do we have over here? Okay. Mustafa Bande, my friend, the young man at the law school. Mustafa is going to be called to the bar, I believe this year. Mustafa Bande is deputy chief of staff. And you know, the things that happens to politicians has happened to him. Mustafa Bande is addressing young... he's addressing some people. I'm not sure who. I'll show you the video, though. And he says that young NDC people should not be looking for jobs on social media and blah, blah, blah. I think the big issue about the NDC's promise to deliver jobs is really hitting them very hard. And the NDC promise to deliver jobs is really hitting them very hard. And so they are struggling to answer the question. There's no problem. The reason why the NDC jobs is hitting them very hard is that they had promised the NDC youth and the Ghanaian youth that every job that one person was doing, 3 people were going to do it. It made the youth know that it's very easy to get a job. See, sometimes politicians promise jobs, but they don't actually say how they are going to do it. So when they come to power, you're waiting for them to do it. With the John Mahama's campaign in 2024, They did not just promise jobs, but they also indicated how they are going to do it. They indicated that this is the way they are going to get the jobs. The way they are going to get the jobs is that if Paul Adomoshi works at Ghana Television, which is GTV, and I do a program called Good Evening Ghana, and here on Good Evening Ghana, the crew is about 35 people, then you have a presenter plus 35, but that's 36 jobs. So you're going to have those 36 jobs to run concurrently for 24 hours. So whatever we do, 3 people will do it, so long as we work at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, it's state-owned. If you work at VRA, the Volta River Authority, and you are a secretary there, they know that the MD has 3 secretaries, which is quite normal. So if the MD has 3 secretaries, that job that the 3 ladies is doing is now going to be done by 9 people, 1, 3, 3. This is what the NDC said. Somehow, the youth believed them, and then they voted for them. The critical problem now for the NDC leadership is that they have not been able to deliver those jobs. Yes, they have delivered some jobs. They've sacked people from all over. As Samia Oku says, they've sacked about 13,000 young Ghanaians, and they have replaced them with some 17,000, 20, 25, 30,000 young Ghanaians. Yes, so they've done some. But they are not able to reach the critical mass because the unemployment deficit is significant. And we were telling them that the way unemployment can happen is through creativity, innovation, some of the things that Kennedy Japan has been talking about, some of the things that Dr. Baumia has been talking about. These are the things that can create jobs. It's not promising people something you know that is false. It's not. That's not politics. That's very, very dirty politics. Dirty politics. That's what he did. Basintale, that's what he did. Promising people stuff. Today, I have never seen a YEA boss who commands state authority like Malik. I'm going to show you a video of Malik Basintale, who used to sit on Good Morning Ghana, insult Dr. Baumia that he is pork, insult Akufo-Addo that he is old, he doing demonstrations that Akufo-Addo will die. Malik Basintale, he now commands state authority so that policemen have... I'll show it to you, don't worry. First, though, let's watch what Mustafa Bande said. Now, everything Mustafa Bande says in this video is true. It's not untrue. The reason why it is a problem is because of what he said before. The things Mustafa Bande says in this video, they are true. Our young people, we love them. We have to give them jobs. Leaders in politics must give them jobs. But jobs are not going to come as a result of lies. Jobs are going to come from people who have sat down, who have their hearts for the young people, who are thinking about creative ways. Mamadou Baumia, Kennedy Japan, Brian Achampong. You find this in their thesis. You find it in their thesis. You find it in Kennedy Japan's thesis. You find it in Brian Achampong's thesis. You find it in Mahamadou Baumia's thesis. These are people who can do something because they have sat down, they have a heart for it, they've thought about it, and they have great people around them. Around Mahamadou Baumia, you have Kujo Ponkroma, you have Asensu Boache. I mean, look at Asensu Boache's conversation that leaked on social media the other day. Please, did you hear it? I'll play it. There's a conversation that leaked on social media the other day. Apia Stadium was talking to Asensu. He insulted Asensu to the lowest. Asensu just said, yo, mate, yo, waka mate, yo, mate. That's all he said. I've never seen a leader with such tolerance. The member of parliament for Bantama, this Apia Stadium, Kumasi, Bantama has a lot of boys. Asensu can threaten him that, hey, you Apia Stadium, I'll get the Bantama boys on you. He could have done all that. He controls Bantama. If you know Bantama, it's a hotbed for everything. Asensu Boache said, yo, Apia Stadium was, look at Apia Stadium. Look at Asensu. Apia Stadium was insulting him. Akufo-Addo no Dano or da. It was so bad that Apia Stadium came back later and said President Mahama has rebuked him for the kinds of words he used in the conversation with the former Minister for Roads. So the point I'm making is that you have serious, sober people around these brains who are thinking. Look at Brian Achampong. Akwesi Agyeman is there. Look at Kennedy Japan. KK Sapo and others were with him. These are the people who can dream, think of something that can help you. But you say you want people who are telling you things that are sweet. So that's the problem we all have. We are really sorry, youth of Ghana, we beg you, for the things that NDC said that they can't do. We are all responsible for it. All of us are responsible. We are not NDC. We didn't tell you. But you are youth of Ghana. We love you. You are our people. You are the hope of Ghana for tomorrow. When they were singing Mahama is the hope, they should have been singing the youth is the hope. It is the hope for Mother Ghana. Ghana youth is the hope. They didn't say that. They said Mahama is the hope. And then The hope was built on falsity, things that you cannot hold on to, things that nobody can ever do were the things that you were told. Now today, when you are demanding that those things be done, employment be done, Mustafa Gbande has this to say. Have a look at the video.
Don't ask for job on Facebook. Colleagues, Christians pray every day, but there is poverty. Am I right? Am I right? Yes. Christians go to church every Sunday, but yet some Christians are poor, some Christians are what? Are rich. What it means is that being a party member is not just enough for you to get what you want. But you must also ensure that you do the right things, you take the right actions, you take the right decisions, you explore, you connect, you build relationship, you water that relationship, you align in order to get what you want.
He was likening Christians. I'm a Christian. I've signed up to the body of Christ. I believe Jesus Christ is my personal savior. I have Holy Ghost baptism. I've signed up to it. He compares my relationship with the body of Christ as my relationship with NDC. NDC came to my house to tell me that they will give me jobs. Christianity is offering salvation. Salvation is not money. Please, viewers, salvation isn't money. Salvation is a promise to spend eternity with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's salvation. Salvation is not car, money, work, job. That's not salvation. The Bible says the plans I have for you, they are of good and they are not of evil. And they are to bring you to an expected end. It says elsewhere that the Lord will order your steps. It says that the glory of the latter days shall be more than the former. You can pick all of these scriptures as inspiration and hope that your life will be better. In fact, Jesus Christ wants your life to be better. But Jesus Christ didn't say he'll give you 133 jobs. So Mustafa Gbande has the effrontery to come and liken Christianity, the work of Jesus Christ, to joining a political party that Christians are poor. Really, I'm so disappointed. He says Christians are poor. So if you are NDC and you are poor, it's okay. Christians, some are rich, some are poor. So NDC, some of them will be rich, some of you will be poor. It's okay. Don't go on Facebook and ask for jobs. Where else should they ask for the job? Because Mustafa Gbande, when they call you, you won't pick. Malik Basintali, they call you, you won't pick. Who else is in there? The ministers. You call them, they won't pick. Deputy minister, he won't pick. Jubilee House, somebody, he won't pick. You are calling all of them. NDC, you see, you used to insult me. NDC, you used to insult me, didn't you? You see that I'm your friend. You see that now I'm the one that you should have supported. You see I'm speaking for you. When you call them, do they pick? When you call, they don't pick. Me too, when I call, they don't pick. Me and you are the same. I knew that when people come to power and you call, they won't pick. I told you, you didn't listen. But you are still our people. We still need you. You are the backbone of Ghana. The young people, you are the backbone of Ghana. We have to, if you people fail, we all fail. We are old. If you fail, we all fail. So we can't let you fail. And that is why Miracle Sabuaji warned you all the time. Gen Z people, be careful. They were lying to you. Now, when you say you want jobs, Mustafa Gbande tells you that don't say it on Facebook. Where else will you say it? Because you can't find them. You can't. You call Beatrice Anna, she won't pick. You call Callistus, she won't pick. I hear that Julius Debra picks his call sometimes. I'm going to talk about him today. I hear Julius Debra that he picks. Me, I don't know. He's not my friend, so I don't know. But they say he picks his call. Asedun Ketia too. They say if he doesn't pick, his son Kweku will call you back. Why is Asedun Ketia son Kweku? Because they need votes. So that one they will call you. Mustafa Gbande doesn't need your vote. You call him, he won't pick. Malik Basintale, he won't pick. He doesn't need your vote. He's already gotten what he wants. This is the problem. And this is the problem that must change. Let us elect people who have a proven track record. Let us elect people who have done something with their head before or have done something with their hand. Today, I was sitting in Accra. I did mobile money transactions. I got some mobile money transactions and I did some transactions. Sitting in Accra here today. Yesterday, I was going to go travel out of Accra to Eastern region and I couldn't make it because of all kinds of things. So, because I couldn't go to Eastern region and it was an important situation, We had to do some money extra. You have to send me some 500, you have to send some people some money, all of that. Sitting in Accra, I typed text, it went through to the persons in the far village. He calls me, oh, Bram, in Sankaskano. I said, oh, thank you very much. Then I called the person, did you just send me 500 cedis? Oh, I have it. Why was I able to do that? I'm MTN. Somebody is Vodafone. Somebody is Airtel. Why was I able to do that? Because Dr. Baumia sat in his office as vice president, sat on his table. He called Augustine Blay. Augustine Blay, come. Let us solve this interoperability problem. We can solve it. Are we not human beings? They thought together and they solved it. Mobile money interoperability is Dr. Baumia who brought it. You see, if it feels refreshing when as a citizen, I mean, that's when you feel like a human being. British people feel like human beings because things happen in their life that they know that the government is the one who did it for me. That's why British feel like a human being. When they hold the British flag and they are waving it, they are not just waving it on emotional attachment. They are voting, they are waving it because they can feel in their lives that this was government. The other day, musician Miss Bell, she sent her daughter to, her son or daughter, I'm not sure, to Achimota School, 2017. Miss Bell, she's an NDC person till today, 100%. The other day, she said Napo is the only one who gave her money when she was in trouble. That's how Napo is. He's a very good guy. Miss Bell came publicly to say that, hey, she took her son to free SHSO and thought that it wasn't true. But it is true. Her daughter or son, I can't remember which one. Please, if you know, text me and remind me. Miss Bell said, Achimota took my daughter and they didn't ask me for money. Miss Bell said, thank you to Nana Akufo-Addo. You see, when you can say thank you to your government because they've done something, people till today bless Kufuor's name. National Health Insurance. Oh, Ajekum Kufuor. As for this one, you've done well. Because I went to some old lady in a village. She went to the polyclinic with, as they say, Nijonku. Jonku is where? Hip, eh? He said, Nijonku. When there, the doctor said, okay, we're finished. We're giving you medicine. He said, I don't have money. He said, don't worry. NHIS has paid for it. Kufuor has paid for it. Kufuor's thinking, his ability to behave like a president, do something, bring out a policy that Ghanaians will benefit from. Recently, John Mahama brought out a policy that Ghanaians will benefit from. He calls it primary health care. 3-4 days later, I was so sad. Mustafa, where were you? Why must the president himself be explaining a policy? And President Mahama sounded angry. He sounded angry. That's, why? You people, if you don't know something, I felt so, the president was naked, he was exposed. Where is Kwachi Ofosu? Where is British Annan? Where is Rosemond Obey? Where is Shamima Muslim? Where is Gifty? The one who was here, what's her name? Bridget Otu. Where are they? Where are they? And the president, the government leader, is explaining primary health care. Where are they? Where are all of them? Are they hiding? Is the Mustafa, where were you when President Mahama had to explain it? You should be doing it, Mustafa. You should be doing it. So you had Mustafa. Now let me address Mustafa. I just brought the President Mahama in. That's not my discussion. The reason why the things Mustafa said is difficult is that, and a producer, the video, let me talk over it. Let me talk over it. They're going to play a video. I'll talk over it. The reason why what he said is difficult to understand is that you can bring back Basintali. Malik Basintali is showing something that is disturbing to all the youth. This is the chief executive of the YEA. But YEA, Justin Kodria, who is MPP General Secretary today, he was at YEA. Did we ever see Justin Kodria do this? Have a look at how Masim Batentale arrives at a program. That's Malik Basintale. 1 Land Cruiser, 2 Land Cruisers, 3 Land Cruisers, 4 pickup, security car, 5, that's Malik Basintale. 6, they are going 1, 2, this Malik Basintale, YEA boss. This is him. This is how he moves around town. Malik Basintale, the one who used to sit on, look at soldiers jumping out of his car, security. Malik Basintale, this is how Malik Basintale moves around Ghana. This guy who was sitting on TV. Many people are even questioning his source of, what do you call it, qualification and authorization from the university. That's up to him. That's not our matter. But a YEA boss, somebody who is below a deputy minister, this is the way he spends taxpayers' money. All this fuel is the money they could have given to the youth that Mustafa Bande says they shouldn't look for a job on Facebook. All of this Malik Basintale petrol. This is what Ghana has become. Malik Basintale can do anything he likes in Ghana. The one who sat on Good Morning Ghana, berating Akufo-Addo, insulting Dr. Bawumia, even alleging that as a Muslim, Dr. Bawumia has been eating pork. Totally false. This man, Malik Basintale, that's how he moves around. What contribution has Malik Basintale done to Ghana to move around like this as YEA boss? What is his contribution? If you ask Malik Basintale that before 2024, how much taxes did he pay? He has not even paid 200 cedis taxes. Ask him. That all his life, before 2025, before he became YEA somebody, how much taxes has he paid? Zero. And look at how he's using the taxpayers' money. He commands military people to follow him. YEA boss, Youth Employment Agency. When Mills was there, would they have Youth Employment Agency? It was Kufuor's creation. Oh, you see, everything that NDC is doing, MIF. The other day, I saw something on in the media. MIF declares profit billion. John Mahama was president for 4 years. Did he have a minister who could have thought about MIF? They can't think of anything. Somebody thinks of it, and then they come and blow their money. They didn't think of MIF. It was not part of the agenda. Akufo-Addo came, created MIF, Mineral Investment Fund. Then Bawumia said, look, let's amortize our gold. These are people who are thinking for the republic. Malik Basintale sat on radio, TV, demonstrations, denigrating people who can think. When he comes in, he doesn't think. He has a budget of 60 million cedis to train people to run motorbikes. This is Ghana. Malik Basintale never paid any tax. Show the video again. This is how he moves around. Malik Basintale. Look at it. 1, Land Cruiser, new one, brand new, Malik Basintale. 2, he has 2 of it. Malik Basintale in his private life, could he have bought a tie? This car tie, can he buy it? The Land Cruiser 1 tie, Malik Basintale cannot afford it in 2023. He can't. Today, he's commanding 5 of it because he's YEA boss. Below deputy minister, Malik Basintale. This is what NDC have done to Ghana. This is what NDC have done to Ghana. Look at the soldier, as if it's John Mahama. Is he John Mahama? Malik Basintale. Malik Basintale. This is how he moves around. Malik Basintale. This is what he does. A man who has not paid 0 money to tax. He has done nothing. All he's done is shouting. Kumakufado maye onyamiku wase omaino. That's what he said. Akufo-Addo has said omaino. You come, you add nothing. And look at the way you, even Ibrahim Mahama, does he move around like this? Ibrahim Mahama, does he move around like this? Malik Basintale. Okay, oh, let me leave it here. Viewers, don't worry. There's hope. For us, Mahama is president. He'll be going. So Mahama is not the hope. The hope is the young people. Have faith. Hold it together. Ghana will work. Because we have all now seen it. The people who said this, we have seen them. We told you, but you said something. So it's okay. We'll deal with it. Let me take a few text messages, then I'll come to the APC people. As if we're still here, we're going to have a big day today. The story of, what do you call it, SEMSI, we're working on it, and we're working on it to come. It's 15 minutes past the top of the hour, 10 o'clock, and let's take a few text messages as we deal with the next interview. Anziba is next. Anziba, give us 2 of it, and let Ikea give us 2 of it, and then we'll go to the interview with the lens. Let me have Julius Deborah whilst they do the text messages.
Thank you very much, Paul. Coming from General El Kuman, he says, when promises of job creation are used as campaign tools without clear understanding of how to deliver them, the truth eventually catches up. Political rhetoric may win votes in the moment, but the realities of governance will always expose the gap between ambition and capacity. That's the difference between the NPP and the NDC. Yao February says, when the NDC were campaigning to fight corruption in opposition, they were aware that the OSP was mandated to investigate and prosecute corruption cases. If they are committed to the fight against corruption, the Attorney General will never think of fighting the independent prosecutorial powers of the OSP. Now that the High Court has ordered an authorization from the Attorney General, before the OSP can prosecute, a serious government ready to prove to Ghanaians about its commitment to fight corruption would have to order the Attorney General to authorize the OSP to go on and prosecute, but not the request of application from the OSP, as the OSP is fighting corruption for itself, but not the government or the state. Over to you, Kia.
Thank you, Anziba. This is coming from Theophilus Obeng, and he says, "Good evening, Apostle Paul. This is the end result when you lie your way into power. No wonder President Mahama said we have short memory. For we, the discerning Ghanaians, we don't have short memory as President Mahama claimed. We warned Ghanaians about the track record of the NDC. All they are interested in is to create, loot, and share. May the Almighty God save us from the slavery the NDC have subjected us into." And Ryan Salisu Kente Bako says, "Paul, sometimes you wonder what Ghanaians see in the NDC as an alternative to the NPP. This assertion is very problematic, and it's the reason why Ghanaians will struggle to progress. If you have a deputy general secretary for a ruling party suggesting that party people shouldn't ask for jobs on Facebook, then you'd know the government hasn't even started solving the issue of jobs yet. God save Ghana." Coming from Chris Edu, he says, "Paul, it is very astonishing that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who has been in the corridors of the government for the past 24 years, is still struggling to govern this country. I have now understood why Baumia said in 2024 election that the presidency is not a place for remedials. With regards to the Daman mines, we want to assure Ibrahim that in the next NPP government, this transaction will be revoked. If Wuntumi cannot mine in Ghana, why should Ibrahim be allowed to mine? Because if Wuntumi is being prosecuted for destroying the environment as a result of mining, is Ibrahim's mining not taking place on the same land? The dishonesty and hypocrisy in this country is becoming too many for our so-called intellectuals. We will not countenance that in the next NPP government from them anymore." This is what the viewers are saying, Paul.
All right,
thank you.
Well, we can't say much. Let me do the Julius Deborah story then. Is our sound okay? Is everything okay? All right. We put up our flyer today, and I got plenty calls. So this was our flyer today. My friend, the motorbike guy, he's still my friend. We talk every now and then. Asifwa has found corruption, horrendous corruption. And then polls show Harvard graduates Julius Deborah and Asiedun Ketia in a tight race. No Atoforsen. Join us. So let's get to that story right now. Julius Deborah and his people called me that, I don't know him that well. So his people called me and said, "Why are you calling him Harvard graduate?" And I said, "Oh, I'm calling him Harvard graduate because I've seen photographs of him and Kojo Jones. Do you remember Kojo Jones, the handsome guy who had a Blaze Splash wedding the other day, and he ran for... As for Kojo Jones, I know him because of his father, David Lamte, and his mother, Gifty Lamte. And I supported Kojo Jones in Keta when he was contesting. Because I'm not NDC, I couldn't support him well, but I thought that Kojo Jones should be in Parliament. I mean, when we have brilliant people like that in Parliament, that's really good. But Kojo didn't win anyway, so I know Kojo quite well. So he's my Facebook friend as well. So I saw on Kojo Jones's page, Julius Deborah and Harvard. And I said, "Oh, that's nice." So we just put it there. We didn't think, we're not saying that he's a Harvard graduate. So we should have put it perhaps in inverted commas. But then there's a concern that why is the chief of staff going to Harvard for a 6 weeks program when the government is running? So, our political antenna went very round quickly, and they said, Charlie, the story is that Callistus is trying to remove him from the work. So Callistus has sent him abroad. Callistus is the secretary to the president. His name is Dr. Callistus Mahama. He sent him out, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, last week, Julius Deborah's people advertised that he has successfully defended his PhD. So from July, you're going to have Dr. Julius Deborah and Dr. Callistus Mahama. Is Asiedun Ketia a doctor? Let's give it to him. He's a doctor of politics. Dr. Asiedun Ketia, Dr. Atoforsen. Oh, it's going to be nice. So you're going to have Dr. Atoforsen, Dr. Callistus Mahama, Dr. Asiedun Ketia, Dr. Julius Mahama. President Mahama to his doctor, he received recently the last one. Is the American university people who said something. But the other one, he received it. Even though he said Akufo-Addo shouldn't receive doctor, blah, blah, blah. We heard that. It's okay. Ghanaians should decide what they want to do with that comment. But we have Dr. John Mahama as well. And then you have Dr. Jenano Pokwajiman. Oh, this is getting interesting. Yes, Jenano Pokwajiman is a PhD, for sure. So you have Dr. Jenano Pokwajiman, Dr. John Dramani Mahama, Dr. Kalistus Mahama, Dr. Asidun Ketia, Dr. Atoforsen. As for Atoforsen, is a real doctor because only a doctor can have inflation the way he holds it and not be able to pay teachers. And electricity is going up. What Atoforsen has done has to be studied. He alone can have inflation the way it is. And every indicator, where he draws the inflation indicators from, they are all looking black. But when he draws the indicators, it becomes white. The source of his data, the source of the foundational document, that source, Atoforsen draws out of that source is all looking red. But when he draws it somehow, the thing that he draws looks white. Atoforsen is Jesus Christ, I think. Only Jesus can do what Atoforsen is doing. So he's Dr. Squared. Anyway, so they gave me Julius Debra's credentials, and here they are. Julius Debra obtained his degrees from the University of Ghana. He has not gotten a degree from Harvard. I'll tell you why he's at Harvard then. Department of Archaeology and Heritage Studies. Bachelor's degree completed in 2008. In 2018, he completed his master's degree in the same area. And in 2019, he began a PhD. The thesis he successfully defended, awaiting graduation in July. His thesis focused on understanding the relationship between community heritage and tourism development in Ghana, using Kwewu as a case study. So you see that the Kwewu Summit is coming from Julius Debra's PhD thesis. The Kwewu Summit that you have been seeing, as President Mahama himself said, that Julius Debra is the one who gave the idea, and he was just having a quick chat with him, and Julius Debra said, and now it has become, they've done the second year, and it's become very big. And so this is Julius Debra's academic credentials. The Harvard-related activity is participation in the ongoing Harvard Ministerial Leadership Program, which runs from April 19th to April 22nd. So it is not a 6 weeks program. So that has been corrected. We heard that it's a 6 weeks program, and Callistus has sent him away so that something will happen, something. That's for political gossip. We'll talk about it in the newsrooms. When we are able to verify it and we get authorization from the Attorney General, then we'll share with you. These days, when you have to get a story, you need authorization from the Attorney General. Even if the OSP needs authorization from Attorney General, how much more you and I? Sremsai, give us authorization so we can publish our stories. Authorization, we need it. We need it from the Attorney General, otherwise we can't do anything. The man who is looking after corruption, they say they need authorization. Then how much more you and I? Authorization. So this is Julius Debra's credentials. He's in Harvard for a ministerial program. It's paid for by Harvard. He's selected among government leaders. So the Ghana government presented him as one of the government leaders. They are prime ministers, and they are in a short program, and he'll be back very, very soon. In fact, Friday is his birthday, I've been told. Friday is Julius Debra's birthday. He'll be back before Friday, and his PhD thesis has been defended. So I don't know whether this Julius Debra story played any role in the analysis that the AP Lens did. But AP Lens have a new analysis that departs completely from what Musa Dankwa did. And I have in the studio here the AP Lens people who also correctly predicted Muhammadu Bawumia's victory against Kennedy Japan at the recently held MPP Congress. Professor, I greet you.
I greet you, Sir Paul.
How are you?
Well, I'm great.
Your prediction on Muhammadu Bawumia, did you give him 57%?
We ended at 61 plus or minus 3.
3 minus 61 is 58. Also almost there.
Yeah.
So if he had gotten 64, it's still the same. Yeah. So if Muhammadu Bawumia got 70, then you'll be out of prediction.
Out of that, yes.
Or if he got 40, you'd have been out of prediction.
That would not be possible. In fact, you asked me the same question, and I told you it would mean that science doesn't work anymore.
In fact, you told me that if anyone will win a first round, it's only Bawumia who can win a first round.
I told you it was going to be a one round. Yes. There was no way.
This research that you people do, is it expensive?
Very expensive.
So when they are alleging that a politician has paid for it, should we believe it?
Oh, I'll be happy if the politician will be happy to pay for it.
But when a politician pays for it, do you have to do it according to what he wants?
No, that cannot be. Then basically selling your conscience.
Can a politician tell you after you have done the research, if he paid for it, that the research is against me, don't publish? Can he tell you that?
No. So
but
if you want me to do for you, that's a private activity.
Yeah. Do for me.
I do private activity for you. You'd publish it. I don't come in.
You don't hold the intellectual property rights of the document.
No, then it's a consultancy I'm giving you.
But why will a politician pay you and allow you to publish it if it's against him?
No, so if you want me to do some work for you, I will do the work for you. You decide what you do with the work. But when we commission our own study, then we would take that.
How do you raise money for your own study?
Oh, it's not easy. I'm far from here. I'm coming to you.
Well, but if I give you money and the survey shows that Dr. Baumia is not doing well in Central Region, I will not let you publish it. I will rather take the document, call Oforesi Amayenko, go to Central Region, try and correct it.
No, so you need to draw the line.
No, the only reason why I will raise money for you is because I want to be sure that my candidate is looking okay.
No, so it is not about what you published out there that makes your candidate look okay. If your candidate is not doing well, the candidate is not doing well.
Oh, it can help. If my candidate is not doing well, but everybody is publishing that he's going to win.
No.
It might help.
You see, you are dealing with an electorate, a population, a voter population who are more enlightened, who understand what they want. And so you can get people to tickle you and you think you are doing something good. They will show you at the polls.
Is that what Baba Jamal was able to achieve in Nima when all the polls said that he wasn't going to get anywhere? The polls were giving him 18%. I remember I spoke to him at that time. He's a good friend of mine. And he was laughing. He was completely said, Paul, you wait for it. I think it was a Tuesday. He said, wait for, no, Saturday. He said, wait for Saturday.
Yeah.
I said, Baba, the people say you are down. You left this, your high commissioner. You say, Paul, wait for Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday came and it was a disaster for the polls.
Yeah, because even though you do the prediction, the influence, so again, you have to look at the voter demography, voter pattern, voting pattern within a particular area. And to what extent will inducement inform or change patterns? And so in a case where it's a very small constituency, the inducement plays a big role.
So as a pollster, you have to factor that in.
You need to factor that.
But in national polls, inducement doesn't work?
Well, inducement is to only a marginal effect, extent, because there's not much you can do nationally. Nationally, if you want to influence people to a point that they will be convinced that, oh, I have actually received something really good to influence my decision, it means that you are really, really going to cough out a lot of resources. And that is not easy at a national level. And that is why at a national level, you need to really be solid on your messaging. You need to be solid on your strategy. Otherwise, as for what people are paying on the D-Day, so if you look at the MPP primaries, what happened? It was a reason on National Day, one of the candidates decided to target and do inducement at a certain level. But he couldn't do that across the board. Even at specific constituencies where this candidate had to do something, he couldn't even do it across every delegate. They had to target. And so he was not really looking forward to winning. He wanted to just make a point. And so that is there. So
inducement can help you.
It can help.
But it might not change the skills significantly.
No, at a national level, no.
So if you are hoping to make a name that in this NDC Congress, I will get 10%, you can use inducement to do that.
Oh, then you have to do targeting.
Yes, you can use targeted inducement to achieve 10%.
That can work.
But to win,
no,
you can't have inducement.
No.
What's the percentage that inducement can play in winning?
It depends, again, on the population you are dealing with.
200,000 people, regular Ghanaians, polling station executive, constituency executives, regional executives. If you look on the average, 40% of them are unemployed. Another 40% earn salaries below, say, 6,000 cedis. What role can inducement play? If you're going to share 1,000 cedis.
1,000 cedis. Look, it will not
per individual.
No,
per individual.
They won't mind you. They will take the money.
If you are giving 15,000 people 1,000 cedis, you can't get them to vote for you.
No.
So that you can.
Some would, but the average voter today, constituency executive, 1,000 cedis, they will laugh at you.
Too small.
It's too small. I'm telling you, they will laugh at you.
So those of us who want to go into politics, we should wait.
No. So you see, politics also relationship is very important in politics.
Good.
You need to. That is why you don't just get up and think that you are coming to do something. You need to build a solid relationship. And people would vote on relationship, not on the money.
They vote on relationship more than money?
Yes.
Okay, but if we are voting for a presidential candidate, we all won't see him. We all can't have a relationship with him. How do they glean his relationship? The way he relates to others?
Now, they are looking at who is your local rep.
Oh,
and to what extent does the person who is fronting your campaign have access to this presidential candidate that he's campaigning for? And so
that is to say, if a constituency organizer is working for you in Bantama,
yes,
the Bantama people are checking the extent to which he talks to you.
Very important.
So if they tell him that a constituency polling station person tells you that my father has died, can you ask boss to come? And the boss comes, then they know that you.
Then they know that you have influence.
You have influence over the boss.
And so whatever
if
you
they
tell
vote
them,
for the boss and he becomes president, they can also participate.
They can actually participate.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
So you need to select carefully.
Very carefully.
Oh, that's
who
difficult.
becomes your rep? Who is representing you at the region, at the constituency? Very, very important.
That's difficult to find.
Very difficult. But that is why I say it's about relationship. I heard you talk about people picking their phone calls. And look, around this time, people are complaining, and you are hearing it.
Yeah.
It's usually a problem in governance. When you are in power, you are not just dealing with the people you were dealing with in opposition. You are dealing with all kinds of complex issues. And sometimes it's difficult to just pick phone calls. But those who really are minded, they have a strategy they put in place to make sure that even if they can't pick the call, somebody will answer and say, oh, he's busy, send a message. I know people who have actually invested so much in just phone call relationship. The reason why some MPs, you go to their constituencies, no visible development is taking place, yet they would always win their seat. Why? Because they have a team back home who something happens. Oh, somebody has just passed. By the next morning, a delegation is in your house on behalf of that MP to say, oh, we heard something has happened. You know, Honorable is on an important mission in Accra, so he has sent us to come and attend to you. And sometimes it's not about the money, just the fact that Honorable has come. And so you see the poster, and he's a chief mourner. He has no relationship with the family, but he's a chief mourner because he has actually established a relationship with them. So he arrives in the community, and everybody knows that, oh, when I had a naming ceremony, he came. When I had a funeral, he was there. When I was in trouble, he was there. So that's why I say relationship is very important. And you need to have a strategy.
My producer is asking me to get into the main interview, but let me ask you one question. If I'm a Christian, I don't drink Pito. I don't drink Red. I don't drink Ogoglo DC10. And then I go to the constituency and they offer it to me and I say that, oh, because of Matthew chapter 7, I can't drink Ogoglo. Would they be offended?
You need to understand the cultural, MF culture also play an important role. If you don't handle it well, they'll be offended, and that can go against you. And that is why you don't just go to a community and think that you are the organ. You have to go through the people, the local representation. They would guide you. We are going to the chief palace. This is what will happen, and this should be your response. Sometimes it's not about even drinking. I have gone to communities as part of my community work where they serve me with a cup of water. You can see that this water really is not. And somebody told me, I took it and then I just tried to take a sip. I couldn't drink it, but I had to culturally signify that I have accepted it. And the chief said, because you accepted our water, we have accepted you. And whatever you're coming to do, we'll support you.
Very difficult job. I'm sure viewers who are watching, young people, you want to be politicians, please watch and then send text message to Fatih Ekwea. Okay, Mikael and Ella, so let's begin a new video on this one. 10 minutes gone already, as have been showed. Let's begin a new video. So what survey have you conducted on the NDC?
So we've been monitoring what is happening. And so we've seen leaders, top leaders within the NDC indicating they explicitly not indicated that we want to contest, but every sign shows, and their support base have started campaigning vigorously for them. If you follow some of them on social media, you see what is happening. And so we decided, look, we've done almost 1.5 years into the current administration. And by 2.5 years, we are at the polls again. And we are aware that the president is not going to be eligible to contest elections. And so we need leadership. And once the MPP have come up successfully at electing their flag bearer, what we are looking forward to is who becomes the flag bearer in the NDC. And so we decided to take a look at that side as well. And so we've been looking around it and successfully laid our hands on their register. And so we decided to engage constituency level executives across all the 276 constituencies. And so that is what we have been doing, trying to engage them to gauge
How many executives are in each constituency?
In total, I think there are about 21.
21 each constituency?
Yes.
So you're doing 21 times 276?
Yes.
Ooh, that's an amazing number.
But the modality is that we didn't go to each constituency to say that we are going to interview at each constituency. That will really be a daunting task. So we have just gone ahead and deployed what we call our bulk SMS messaging to these executives, who are executives.
So you message them that, will you vote for Baumia?
So we put...
will you vote for Asiedun Ketia?
So we have a set of questions, a structured questionnaire that we put together, and then we message directly to these NDC executives.
You obtained their phone numbers?
Yes, we did. We did obtain all their phone numbers, and then we reach out directly to them. Now, the point is that is the limitation of such a poll is that it becomes self-selection bias. So you also are not sure if everybody received that message. It is possible that someone might have changed their phone number from the phone number that we have access to. And so, but the good news is that of all the 276 constituencies that we have, we had responses from all the 276.
But how do you trust these responses that you have, given that you are getting it on phone?
Well, see, that is why I said there's a self-selection bias that would come. But we ensure that in what we are sending to you, if it's Paul who is on the register, we ensure that what we are sending to you is just Paul. And in our analysis, we are guided to ensure that we have only one response from Paul. If Paul responds twice, that is a duplicate. And we try to take out all duplicates before we conduct analysis, just so that we are certain that whoever we are getting, we actually analyzing the data based on the people that we send the survey to.
I see. Okay, so if you send a survey to me,
yes,
I don't want to tell you the truth. How would you know?
No, that is a perception. That is why it's a perception. If you don't want to tell me the truth, that is your answer. So it is possible.
I am voting for Julius Debra, but I don't want to tell you I'm voting for Asiedun Ketia.
At this point, any member of the NDC team, family, who really supports a particular candidate would want to project that candidate. And so really it would be very unfortunate.
Very rare, very rare.
Yeah, that you support candidate A, but you decide that you tell us that you support candidate B to make that candidate popular. Because if we put up the poll and then we publish the results and the candidate you support actually doesn't make the threshold, and then we put them aside, literally you are pushing your candidate out of the
You are even getting him to lose funding.
Exactly.
Because people who fund are looking at these polls to determine who they should fund.
Absolutely.
So what questions do you ask them? Who would you vote for?
Well, so there are a number of questions that we asked. The first question was to gauge the support that they have, each candidate have. So we asked the question, which of the following candidates do you support as the NDC's flag bearer in 2028 or going to 2028 elections?
Which candidate do you support as NDC's flag bearer?
Support.
So you gave them the candidates?
The candidates.
Open-ended?
No, so we close-ended.
Yeah.
There are candidates that we supplied.
Okay.
But we also gave them the option to provide...
Well, open-ended means unlimited.
Open-ended means unlimited. So
Close-ended means you gave them...
we gave them the list of candidates.
Also, they didn't mention.
They didn't mention. But
you gave them among these candidates.
Among these candidates.
Which candidates did you present to them?
So we presented His Excellency Jenana Opoku-Agyeman. We had Honorable Johnson Asiedun Ketia, Honorable Julius Debra, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, Honorable Samuel Kujetu Ablakwa, Honorable Kasiel Atoforsen. And then we had other. So that in the event that the candidates we have presented to you, your preferred candidate is not among this list, you had the opportunity to
Okay, but indicate. If you came to, I said, replace Samuel Kujetu Ablakwa with Sam George, would you do that? You sent me a question, I said, so then I go to other.
You go to other and actually write that name there.
Or you go to other and say Sam George.
Yes.
Or I go to other and say Zaneto Rollins.
Exactly.
Or I go to other and say Mahama Yarega.
Absolutely. And in fact, when we looked at the data, there were 3 names that popped up in the other category.
Like who?
We had Honorable the Agric Minister, Eric Opoku.
Yeah.
We had Ekos Piogabra.
Oh, but Eric Opoku has indicated his ambition. You didn't add him to the list.
Well, we didn't see that.
Okay.
Again, this is an evolving space.
Did you say Spio Gabra?
Yes, Spio Gabra's name
I
came
don't
up.
think he's interested.
All right, and then the third name that came up was Joshua Alabi.
Alabi is interested. He's run before.
Yes.
So he's interested.
So these three names actually popped up in the other category.
So that was the only question they were supposed to answer?
No. The second question was, if elections were held today, which of the candidates would you likely vote for?
So your first question is, who would you vote for the...
Support for flag bearership.
But if the election is held today?
Today.
Among the same
the same category of...
But the person who supports the same person you will vote for.
Well, interestingly, it's not exactly the same.
Like that?
Well, it went like that. The pattern didn't change, but the proportions changed.
That's
marginally.
That's interesting.
Yes.
So there were some people who support a candidate, but they won't vote for him today.
Today.
Ooh. Beautiful.
Very interesting. But it didn't end there. The third question we asked was, who is the closest opponent to the candidate you support? So, assuming you support candidate A, and if elections were held today, who will you vote for? Now, assuming this is what you're saying, among this list, who do you consider to be the closest opponent to the candidate you support? So this time it's not your candidate, but who? In other words, who do you consider as a threat to your candidate? And we had responses as well. The fourth question was, which factor will most influence your support for a candidate? So again, gauging what exactly is informing your choice. And interesting results. Very, very interesting results. And I see a sharp...
Okay, let's pick it one after the other. This is very...
Okay.
Please, Mr. Asifo, we are coming, Honorable. We will deal with the corruption. This is getting interesting. I'm sure you're also interested in it. You're also enjoying it. Let's deal with it. So, one, who would you support? How did it come up?
Well, so it did come up for Jenana Opoku-Agyemang. She had 3.6%.
That's not good.
Johnson Asiedu Nketia, 31.9%.
Hey, that's huge.
Julius Deborah, 30.1%.
Whoa.
Very
31 and 30.5.
1.8% difference. Honorable Haruna Idrisu, 17.9%.
That's impressive.
Samuel Kudjota Blakwa, 1.0%.
Below Vice President?
Yes.
Kesel?
Kesel, 13%.
Okay.
Others, 2.5%.
Wow.
That is the first one. Now, when we move to, if elections were held today, who will you vote for? Jenana Agyemang, 4%. So she moved from 3.6 to 4%.
Oh, given that she's vice president, if elections were held today, while she's still vice president. Okay, 4%. Then?
When we come to Samuel Kudjota Blakwa, he maintains the 1%.
Okay.
Kesel, at 14.1%.
Up from 13.
Up from 13.
Okay.
Then Haruna Idrisu, 17.3%. He drops marginally.
Okay.
Johnson Asiedu Nketia, 32.7%.
He goes up.
He goes up.
Yeah.
And then Julius Deborah, 30.9%, also goes up.
Yeah.
Now, what is happening here is that the other population, those who were mentioning other names, were no longer interested in pursuing the other, but rather decided to give their votes if the elections were held today. Then they would actually go in the route of any of these candidates that we are mentioning.
Yeah.
So that is what is informing the marginal proportions.
Those who voted other, support other, were not eligible to cast a vote in this one.
They are eligible
for their other. Eligible to cast.
They were eligible, but they opted to give their votes to this.
No, they were limited to giving their vote to one of these people.
No, so
they could still have said other.
They could still have done other.
But the other didn't.
But they didn't show the other. They rather went for any of these candidates. In other words, they actually see these candidates as formidable.
I see.
Yeah. Now, who is the closest opponent to the candidate you support? This is where it gets interesting.
Yes, tell us.
Again, when you take Jenana Opoku-Agyemang, she pulls up 8.5%. So
who is the closest opponent to who?
To the candidate you support.
So the question is, so whoever you support, I support Julius Deborah.
So
who is
now
the second?
Exactly.
In case there's no Julius Deborah.
If there's no Julius Deborah, or in other words, the import of this question is to see who you perceive to be the threat to your candidate.
I see.
So from the minds of the people who support candidate A, they are now responding on behalf of other candidates. Who is
okay? So
the
this
closest
8.5 is coming on from who are answering on the 8.5?
The same.
Yes, but do you know whether their number one was this or their number one was that?
So we can isolate that. So before, when we are answering this question, you are not answering this question for your candidate.
I get that, but do you know the person answering who he has chosen for this already?
Yes.
You have that data?
We have that data.
Okay, so when you say 8.5 of them said Jenana, 8.5 of who?
8.5 of the 2,408.
So Julius Debra's people are in the 8.5?
They are in the 8.
I say Ruketa is in it.
Yes. So this time around, this is how it works. So if 30 point, Julius Debra is about 30.9%, right? If elections were held today. So the 30.9%, let's assume that it comes to about 600 people. So these 600 people would vote all right, but they are no longer voting for Julius Debra in this particular question. They are voting for any of the other candidates they consider to be the closest opponent to their...
So it's not their second choice you're asking?
It's not their second choice.
The one you think...
No, it's not their second choice.
It's not their second choice?
No,
okay,
it's not a second choice.
Because other people do polls where they do second choice.
Yes,
and then
it's not their second choice.
Okay.
It's rather to see who do you think is a threat to you. So in other words, even though they support candidate A, they are keeping an eye on this candidate because whatever this candidate does can influence...
And 8.5% said Jenana is a threat to various people.
Yes,
okay,
and that is a perception.
Yeah, next is what?
Next, we have Saboku Jota Blakwa, 4.3%. Cassio Atuforsen, 27.1%.
Good.
Haruna Idrisu, 15.5%. Johnson Asiedu Nketia, 29.1%. Julius Debra, 15.6%. So this is how it's playing out. So in other words, from the opponent's camp, they are seeing these people to be a threat from different angles. But these guys are also working seriously with their own base. So you take Cassio, for example, he is doing 14% if elections were held today. But within the camp of all the other guys, they think that Cassio is a threat.
15%.
No, 27.1%.
27, yes.
Because he comes second, just 2 percentage points
could
behind.
That be because he controls money?
Well,
it could be anything.
It could be anything, but it is highly possible.
Asiedu Nketia is 29.
29, and he is 27.
And Julius is 15.
15.
So, is it easy for a candidate to convert the threat to his votes?
It is. So again, so what is happening now is become like a psychological game. Now, you sit here thinking that this guy is a threat. But actually, on the ground, this guy is not really the threat. Because when you take this data, of course, nobody had this data. We have access to this data and can see, because at the time you are even voting or responding to these questions, you don't know what other people are saying. Now, when we put the first part of the data together, we saw that, Atuforsen is doing like 14% if elections were held today. But in the minds of his main opponents, people who are in the other camp, they see Atuforsen to be a big guy, big threat who can actually make a big difference. So now, when you see data like this, you say, okay, you might have been targeting the wrong person as part of your strategy. So if you think that this guy is the threat, but on the ground is not a threat, then you may be targeting and following him so much and spending so much to undo what he's doing, but really losing out on what you should actually be doing.
Wow.
What is going to influence, or what is influencing the decisions that these delegates are having, it's experience and track record, which is standing tall at 22.8%. We have...
And that's the issues that influence them.
Yes, what is influence?
Experience and track record.
Personal integrity and honesty at 19.6%. Ability to unite the party at 16.1%. Grassroots appeal.
So experience is more.
Experience and track record is like the first thing. Now, Paul, the very interesting, which was a surprise to me, is the issue on policy proposal. In fact, it's a list. Policy proposal. So the things that you are coming to tell that when you come, you will do, etc., is a list on what is influencing decisions. So in other words, unlike what you were saying earlier, when you look at what played out in the MPP primaries, there was issues. What you were going to do differently. So it was about jobs, it was about this, it was about that. This one, the delegates are saying that, no, this is not really what is of interest to us at this point. We are interested in who has a track record and experience, because we should be able to, and by experience, we are not looking at your private life. They are looking at your track record in the party, your experience within the party, that you'll be able to unite. Because if you look at how things have started, there's this perceived expectation that it is going to be hotter. And you need somebody who will be able to bring all heads together when all is over. And so this is something that is really going to play out within the NDC flag bearership race.
Very, very important. In terms of your research, when are you researching again? Do you have like periodic every 3
yes,
months?
So for this NDC, we are waiting for their calendar, but we are planning to do this every month. We are going to be tracking this month on month to see how things play out. And then we will delve a little deeper into other areas. So in the coming months, we are looking forward to going to the branch level to add on to the conversation, the branch level. And at APL, we deploy different strategies. So as I speak from tomorrow, we are beginning our direct phone calls to the branch executives. And we are going to be doing that, talking to the people directly, not they responding, identifying them and talking to them directly, and ensuring that we are speaking to the person whose name appears on the register. And we'll collate that and then also compare that to what we have from the bulk SMS messaging. And then there's a third leg to it where we actually deploy enumerators to the field to engage directly with the delegates. So we'll be doing that and we'll be keeping you updated.
I'm just happy that delegates and branch executives are talking to you, knowing that you are doing polls. It means some of the culture of the silence has been broken. We thank God for that. That people are now speaking in Ghana. It wasn't the case. So before you ask them, who would you vote for? They think you are going to report them to BNI. So that BNI will come and catch them, because that's what J.J. Rawlings and his cohorts were doing to Ghana.
Right.
Over 20-something years, I think we've managed to get it over.
Right.
I'm very delighted to hear that they're talking to you. Thank you, boss. We'll talk to you again very soon. Social media, what are people saying about this interesting poll from the AP lens? What are people saying? Tell us about it. Who should I start with? Ekua first, yeah? Ekua, what are people saying?
Thank you, Paul. Ryan Salisu says, Paul, as a strategic marketing consultant, I can assure you that some posters are hired to publish outcomes for psychological reasons. In this social media age, people use that to project themselves on various platforms. And also, the number of times a certain poster has churned out polls this month will make you question most of these polls. General L. Coleman says, whoever emerges victorious in this NDC primaries will face a formidable challenge against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who appears to hold a strong advantage heading into 2028. Ghanaians are increasingly discerning. They are less likely to be swayed by a try-your-luck approach to leadership by the NDC. Even where macroeconomic indicators seem stable, the failure to meet basic obligations like paying teachers raises serious concerns about priorities and governance. Ultimately, any party seeking to lead must demonstrate not just ambition, but clear readiness and a practical, credible roadmap for delivering results. Rock Taki says, we voted for the sitting president hoping for change. Instead, we got 16 plus months of unpaid teachers, delayed nurses' allowance, no CHAS monies, and single-digit pay rises while costs soar. The opposition candidates didn't win, but today, many of us wish we had made a different choice. Our vote was for results, no excuses. We won't forget this come next elections. The hashtag is, where is the 24-hour economy? Ella, what's the public saying too?
Thank you very much. There seems to be a lot of interest in the polls and how the polls are going. Yao February says, Chairman Johnson Asiedu Nketia is the hope of the hopeless, delegates, and the foot soldiers of the NDC. So we have no doubt that he is going to lead the NDC as the flag bearer to elections 2028, since he is the only one who understands their plight with the experience of leading the NDC in opposition and in government so many times. Master Planner Jr. says, great data analysis. Let me use this opportunity to thank the NPP national executives for conducting an early presidential election. It has really saved the party. Today, it is the turn of the NDC to also select their presidential candidates. We will match them boot for boot in this country, but let me assure them, none of their potential candidates can match Dr. Baumia in the run-up to the 2028 elections. It is definitely possible. Gosway Selam says, many of the NDC executives cannot read or write. How did they respond to these questions? I don't get it. My auntie is not even sure how she answered them herself. General Coleman says, whoever emerges victorious in the NDC primaries will face a formidable challenge against Dr. Baumia, who appears to have a stronghold advantage heading into 2028. February says, NDC foot soldiers are requesting jobs on Facebook or social media, shows their government has failed them after all the promises and assurances. If their job requests through Facebook have caught the eyes of Mr. Mustafa, who is the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, the foot soldiers expected some motivational comments from him as an assurance to give them, but that is not what happened. Warning them will not make them feel any better, but will rather make them lose hope in the government. This is a pretty lengthy one from Obama Tamale. He says, good evening, Paul. The social intervention program introduced by the NDC under John Dramani Mahama is not entirely new. Initiatives like the National Health Insurance Scheme, established under John Ajekum Kufuor, have already made significant and substantial strides in addressing national health care needs of Ghanaians. It is also concerning to see the types of tricycles provided for nurses to access rural communities. Given the conditions of many roads in the northern region and the long distances involved, it is clear that these tricycles are not durable or suitable for such a demanding terrain. In fact, there are several communities that they simply cannot reach due to poor infrastructure. This raises serious questions about the practicality and long-term effect of such an initiative. Samuel Daffer says, NDC social media guys are watching Good Evening Ghana. They are not learning, but rather they are pushing insults in the comment section. Ryan says, Paul, sometimes you wonder why Ghanaians see the NDC as an alternative to the NPP. This assertion is very problematic, and it is the reason why Ghana struggles to progress. If you have a Deputy General Secretary of a ruling party suggesting that the party's people shouldn't ask for jobs on Facebook, then you know the government hasn't even started solving the issues of jobs or the issues of Ghanaians. God save Ghana. Lastly, from Nana Boache, he says, good evening, Paul. Most young Ghanaians do not know Mahama. Mahama promised Ghanaians one-time national health insurance premium. He lied. Mahama promised Ghanaians STX affordable housing. He lied. So some of us knew Mahama and his NDC were lying when they were promising Ghanaians, and we didn't believe them. Back to you, Paul.
Samuel Brian Boabin is watching us from his base as he usually does. He said, Apostle Paul, what vulgar display of opulence. Some of President Mahama's enablers are living lavishly like the Sultan of Brunei and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia combined. This is not the reset we were promised. As for the special prosecutor, the least said about the story, the better. They said some people are tired of Ankwa Noma. Okay. There's another text here that says that, how are you able to get me glued to my television just listening to you? Mr. Paul, I think you're a gem. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Another one says, I heard you chip in the interview with the poster that you wanted to enter politics. Can you do that very quickly? We certainly need you in real, straightforward politics. Good evening, Ghana. You have done it enough. How many years? Okay, no problem. All right. The other one says, I like your shirt. Okay, I like it too. Thank you very much. And I'm happy that you like it. I'll get you one. Don't worry. All right. We have 2 stories to go, even though it's quite late. It's Tuesday. It permits us to deal with it. We have a very important celebratory story, 70th birthday of a very important mentor of mine that I have to talk about. It's linked to an important political story, so you don't worry, it fits in. It's going to come up. And then we have Deputy Attorney General Stremsai. Whilst you were listening to the text message, I had a quick meeting with my producer, as we always do. He came into the studio. You didn't see him because the camera was on the social media editors. And he's suggesting to me that we may have to push the Stremsai story to Thursday, because I've told him that he should always whip me in line when we are going over the time. So that's his job. So even though I'm older than him, he whips me in line and I have to obey him. That's how it works here. You see. All right. Let's go to the touch screen. And then we will sort it out. What beautiful Ghana flag colors. Oh, yeah, the poster. Charlie, the guy was good, man. The guy was very good. Okay. So many years ago, I was like, oh, no, this is not the photograph I'm looking for. They should change it before I start. Otherwise, when you're watching the video on social media, you get confused about what I'm saying and what is behind me. Okay, yeah, this is fine. Many years ago, I was when I started as a news reporter, okay, 1990-something, late 90s. And then one of the biggest stories that we did at Joy Newsroom in those days, those of you who know Stan Dogbe, you should ask him. He knows the story. Senna Atoklo is another journalist, very good guy. He also knows about this story, Senna. I've not seen Senna in a long while. Senna, how are you doing? I hope you're good. All right. So we're pursuing this story. In those days, there was no PPA, Public Procurement Authority. There was nothing like that. So we only have to gauge corruption from what we are hearing, reports that we get. I mean, there's no PPA, there's no RTI, there's no nothing. There's no mobile phones that can record video. There are no mobile phones that can record sound. It's just mobile phone. It has some of them, you open it, you can put on speaker, but that's about it. You can't record anything. So the work was quite limited into what you can do and what you cannot do. And then we pursued the story of SNIT, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust. They had a guy called Edward Annan. We all know him, don't you? Very serious Ghanaian businessman. And we went after him that Eddie had been corrupt because he had won all the contracts from SNIT. We also linked Eddie's superimposition on the NDC government to his relationship with Mrs. Rawlings and his relationship with Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, who was president. Okay, let me end there. Come to the celebration. I'll tell you why I said this. I'll come back to Eddie Annan, Ibrahim Mahama, Zoom Lion, Magdan. Hold on, this is coming. This is going to be our best story tonight. Okay, show me the photograph. You said you have one photograph. Okay, it's going to come up. Don't they have the photograph? Lawyer. All right. They said I should. Oh, it's past 11. Let's hurry up. Our machines are really hurting us these days. Forgive me. It's not about the young people. Our machines can disturb us sometimes. Oh, you want to play a video? Okay. You have text messages to read. All right. Let's take one. Oh, no. They're here. Great. Thank you, producer. They are working under serious pressure. Our machines have been really hurting us, but we are working on it. They've sent the people to come from Abroche to do it. I think they're in the air or they're coming tomorrow or something. This is, viewers, the person you see here is 70 years old. Oh, it's gone. Is it going to come back? I'm sure it will come back. Yeah, thank you. Okay. This is Phyllis. Oh, what juju is this? What's going on? Forgive me, viewers, forgive me. We'll finish very soon. They are coming. Yes, there they are. Okay, I won't touch it. Because if I touch it, but if I don't touch it, can you see? Yeah, you do it like this. Good. So this is Phyllis Maria Christian. She is very, very important mentor to all young people, myself and many others. She speaks words of wisdom to all of us. And she was particularly interested in young people when everybody thought that we were small boys and we should get out and all of that. She was very interested in all of us. Those of us in media, those who were practicing law. She's a lawyer and an administrator par excellence, you know. The lady you see is one of the pioneers that brought Pricewaterhouse to Ghana. They worked on it. She was principally responsible for most of the government work that had been done to restructure the civil service. She has a forte with restructuring government agencies to make them compatible to all the modern things, compatible to business, compatible to B2B, compatible to fintech. That's Phyllis's area. She can structure a government company, a government anything that can make it compatible to modern business. That's her training. She's very good at it. Fundamentally, she's a lawyer. So for those of us who are journalists, lawyers, everybody, bankers, she would advise all of us. The things she used to say still resonate with me. Now, I'll tell you some of the things she said. So we did this Edianan story. We did this Edianan story. And we will say that we'll broadcast, Komla Duma will broadcast on the morning show. And, and after the morning show, Phyllis will talk to us. And she'll say that, listen, why are you people saying that Edianan is a thief? Then I'll say, but PMC, but look at the money that he got from Senate. He said he got money from Senate, so he's a thief. Paul, are you okay? He got money from Senate, so he's a thief. And you go and say this on radio. I was talking to Komla. Call Komla for me. Komla will go. Komla will come and say, Charlie, the way PMC blast me. I say, yeah, Charlie, me do the same thing. Oh, she will go after her and say, you cannot say that. If an investigation has not been conducted, you are whistleblowers. I think that's the first time I heard that. He said, at best, you guys are whistleblowers. So you can tell the investigative that there's something happened at Senate that needs, but you can't sit on your radio and say that Edward Annan is a thief because he got money from Senate. Are you serious? At that time, I didn't understand. We fought with her. One day, we finished the morning. It was a series of broadcasts. So one day, we finished one of these, and we were sitting around when Komla pointed to me that, Bob, my phone is ringing. So I picked the phone. He said, who is it? I said, take it yourself. He said, but who is it? I gave it to him. It was PMC. He said, then he put the thing on PMC. He said, Komla, did I hear you right on the radio? He said, oh, madam, but we've taken the thing to Shraj. So he said, but you can't say that. Several years back, I now know that the things that PMC said guided my work. And that is why I've been saying to people, you cannot say that he's a thief. Indeed, Edward Annan went to Shraj against Joy FM, and he won after 10 years. The Commission for Human Rights and Administrative Justice found victory for Edward Annan. Joy FM were asked to pay some money. And in fact, when Joy FM said, the Shraj said Joy FM should pay money to it, Edward Annan said that it's okay. I respected that man. What we did to him in the year 2000, in fact, he felt so sorry because he thought that what we are doing to him is going to hurt NDC. And he liked Mrs. Rawlings and Mr. Rawlings. They were his people. He thought that they were taking the nation on a good path. Anyway, it was the same PMC who arranged for us to meet Edward Annan. Eddie could have slapped me off. But anyway, I'll come back to PMC's eulogy. I'll show you a beautiful video. Happy birthday to you, PMC. We love you to bits. What you've done for all the young people in Ghana, we know that the Lord will greatly reward you. We are all your boys. One day you run for president, you win. Okay. PMC 1070 at a glorious event at the Christ the King Church and the Labadi Beach Hotel. I'll show you a bit of the video. But just let me tell you one more story before I go to the business. So one day I was at Ghana Airport as board chairman. I went to the office. I think I had some meeting there. I went there. And they said that Mr. Edward Annan says that he wants to come here to come and meet the board. Edward Annan is the owner of Passion Air, for those of you who may not know. When you fly Passion Air to Kumasi and to Sunyani, that's the owner I'm talking about, Edward Annan. Passion Air is not his business. That's not what defines him. Edward Annan is defined by many things. Anyway, so Edward Annan said that he turned 82 when John Mahama became president recently. And John Mahama was at the event and he was dancing at 82. Very strong. He's 82. Oh, that's he turned 82. He turned 80. I think he's now 82. All right. He's still very strong. He can drive. He can do anything. Edward Annan is an example for all of us. So they said Edward Annan is looking for me, that he says he's coming to the office. And I said, Edward Annan is coming here? No, I have to go there. The head of finance at the airport, he looked at me and said, why? I said, hey, I have to go to his office. He can't come here. I'll go there. Call his people and say, I'm coming. So they called his office and said, the board chairman says he is rather coming. They said, oh, we're on our way. He said, no, he says he's coming. I said, no, let me go there. So where is the office? It's in Cantonments. I went there. So I sat down. I saw the body language of the people. I knew that Edward Annan had told them something about our history. So everybody was like, yes, sir. Yes, please sit down. Hey, okay. So I went into the room. I went to his office. I said, Uncle Eddie. He said, hey, you, Paul. You are sitting at the airport and they are charging us useless fees. That's how Edward Annan talks. They are charging us useless fees. Look at this paper. Why are they charging me this? They come and tell me this. And then they come and tell me this. I beg you. He said, you beg me? You people are going to lose the election. I said, eh. He said, yes. Your mama is going to be elected. And he said, you don't know. Your mama is going to win. And you see what we'll do at the airport. How can't you do the things correct? So I begged him. I sat down. I listened to him. He had a case. And I said, boss, I beg you, can you come to the board so that you can talk to all the board members? He said, but that's what I wanted to do. And you said you are coming. I said, oh, but I have to come as a respect. He said, shut up there. You go and sit on your TV and say all kind of things. And that's how Edward Anan is. So he came to the board meeting, and all the board members were impressed with him. He came, he spoke, he told us what he's doing, passionate. Everything was impressive. In fact, so important was the event that in my regular meetings, the late night issues with Akufo-Addo, one day I mentioned to him that they came to the board. In fact, he asked me, as he usually does, what's happening at the airport? I said, oh, we are good. Everything is fine. He said, are you sure? Okay. I said, Edward Anan case. Edward Anan, what did he come and do? I said, it's one of passion. Then I told the president, Mr. President, do you realize that both domestic airlines are owned by NDC people? He said, really? Who and who? I said, passion is Edward Anan, and the other one is Togbe Afede. He laughed and said, oh, I see. But I hope you are treating them well. I said, oh, but of course, we'll treat them well. We are doing everything for them. He said, oh, but that's impressive. That's interesting. Oh, you are right. Both domestic IDs. You know Akufo-Addo and the way he enjoys these things. He said, oh, I see. Edward Anan and Togbe Afede. Oh, I see. Oh, that's good. I said, so when you open Sunyani Airport, Edward Anan was very happy. He said, why? I said, because only passion can land at Sunyani Airport. He said, why? I explained to him. He said, oh, so Eddie is the only one doing Sunyani. I said, yeah. He said, but I hope he's making money. I said, oh, yeah, I think he is. You see, that is the spirit of Akufo-Addo, MPP president. His board chairman comes and says, Mr. President, do you realize that the domestic people are all NDC? The first thing he says that, but I hope you are treating them well. This is what Akufo-Addo said to me. He said, but I hope you are treating them well. And then he laughed it off. That's president. That's president. That's president for the whole nation. He has a big heart. He doesn't worry whether domestic is for NDCs, MPP. He told me, but I hope you are treating them well. Those were his clear instructions. When I had told him that, do you realize that both domestic airlines are NDC people? He said, oh yeah, who and who? He hadn't even thought that. He doesn't care. He doesn't think about it. BMC, happy birthday. Please put the video up. Put the video up. Let people see how the function went. Then I come to domestic business, and that's how we'll be wrapping up on the show. Yeah, hey, this is serious, man. Oh, wow. This must be at the Labadi Beach Hotel. Yeah, it is. It says, that's Yofi Grant who is filming it. And who is singing? Oh, the video going off. Oh, play it again. Play it again. The video is... yeah, okay. So this is now the Christ the King Church. This is the Christ the King Church. That's PMC in the hair. Pakwesi Yankee, Joyce Christian, the Roman Father. Okay, this is the choir. Oh, it was a beautiful service. That's PMC standing, receiving the blessing. Oh, I think this is great. This is great. PMC is very Catholic, you see, completely Catholic, 5,000% Catholic. Phyllis Maria Christian's 70th birthday. This is one of the attendees. Oh, beautiful picture playing. They were taking photographs. I guess that's Anna Grant I saw in a minute, and Yofi Grant and other people as well. Pakwesi Yankee is one of the most important people to Phyllis Christian. Pakwesi Yankee is recently, I think he's still the chancellor of the University of Technical University in Koforidua. He's the chancellor of that university. That's Pakwesi Yankee. Oh, the dinner was nice, eh? Beautiful table set. This was Labadi Beach Hotel. Oh, I like the decor. This is impressive. Oh, PMC and her friends and more friends. Oh, they were boogieing, man. Oh, this is good. Pakwesi Yankee is speaking again. This is beautiful. This is really good. So that's let's take the sound. Let's take some sound. Let's take some sound from it before we wrap up.
To Montauk on love. Love my ass and my abs and the video of promiscuous. My style is ridiculous.
This afternoon we gather together with Phyllis Marie Christian to thank God for 70 years. So it's a joyful day for each and every one of us. And if we are here this afternoon, it's because we are all dear to her.
Family and friends, I'm deeply honored to stand here today to celebrate a remarkable lady, a remarkable woman. Growing up, Phyllis Rose was more than just a niece. She was a friend, a confidant, and a shining star in our family. Her warmth, kindness, and generosity have made her a beloved figure in our family and beyond.
At 11:16, we have to leave the business story and drop it. We'll do it on Thursday, isn't it? We want people to really see it. We're going to go from Daman to that. We have to. Sorry, we had difficulty with our technical production machines today. Some people are coming to do it, and then by Thursday, we should be ready to go. Thanks for watching, viewers. It's 16 minutes past 11. Thank you so much for keeping faith with us. Good night.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Has Christianity always been one of the religions in the world to you?
No, 1,000 times no. Jesus the Christ did not come to start